With security breach dropping just a few days ago, I thought this was probably about the right time to do this. One thing that has constantly plagued the Five Nights fandom is one specific question. Why won't William Afton fucking die? I think today we can actually make that happen. Or can we? This opponent comes from another fairly popular piece of media that came up recently. That is Death from Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish. So, who would win? As we know, the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics are able to crush skulls, tear people limb from limb, break through walls, and survive even whole buildings catching fire. Though fire is noted to both weaken the souls possessing them and melt the metal composing them. However, where Five Nights actually gets a lot more impressive is in the book continuity. Now, as we know, the books are not exactly the same as the games, though they do seem to be sort of meshing with current stuff. In one of the books, the emotion agony is stated to be the strongest of the emotions, which should be superior to grief, and in Blackbird, a storm is created. So this calculation would be large island level. As for speed, we have general superhuman stuff. Now for the opponent, Death. What is Death scaled to? Well, as we know, he can completely overwhelm and speed blitz Puss in Boots, who should scale fairly close to the likes of Shrek and Fiona. And as we know from his intro, Puss in Boots has actually killed multiple ogres. He's shown able to completely speed blitz Shrek, who as we know can tag and react to arrow fire. Puss in his TV show, which is set between his first film, the Shrek franchise, and his second film, has him react to arrows, and even what appears to be magical lightning. This would be kind of consistent, as we know that Fiona in her freeze frame scene is actually massively hypersonic as well. Because of that, we can determine that Puss should be able to speed blitz people who are massively hypersonic, and yet Death is able to completely speed blitz his perception in the bar fight. As for strength, Death should be the strongest enemy Puss has ever faced, since he terrified Puss into running for his life and into retirement, whereas we know he was more than willing to face the likes of Jack Horner and the Three Bears gang. Since he can harm Shrek too, this would also scale him fairly high, as Shrek has survived fireballs from Dragon that scale to at least town and small city level, all the way up to potentially mountain to island level, based on a hold she creates in Shrek 4D. Now granted, the higher ends interpret Dragon's flight speed to be fairly high, whereas if the lower ends are correct, they would still be at least mountain level. And yet, Death completely shits on him. I know. In round 2, Puss does significantly better, if not actually gets the upper hand on Death briefly. However, there's something to consider, and that is the fact that Death can walk completely unfazed through the Wishing Star. The Wishing Star, when crashing, is shown to vaporize many trees and human beings, and vaporize human beings at a later point. Based on its size, this means that the feat would at least be mountain level, with possible high ends if you use the fact that it was in fact a real star, up to multi-continental, and Death walks right through it. This could be even further, as we know that if Jack got all the magic in the world, he'd be able to destroy the entire planet Earth, as we see in his vision globe. That said, Death scaling above the Wishing Star may seem strange, but considering he walked completely through it, and even encouraged Puss, dared him even, to use its power, Death is not afraid of the Wishing Star at all or concerned that it will interfere in his plans. So we can reason that he scales above it. So Death is anywhere from at least town level to possibly planetary. As such, he should completely overwhelm Springtrap, Afton, in physicals, but can he kill him? Now as we know, characters in Five Nights at Freddy's can remain after death through a number of ways. 1. The soul possessing something like an animatronic. 2. The agony of their pain or emotional states remaining even after death. 3. Digital copies, such as Glitchtrap, being formed. How would Death handle these things? As for the soul stuff, this is easy. Fire in the Shrekverse is able to completely destroy ghosts. We see this when Dragon pops Farquaad in Shrek 4D. There's no reason that Death, also being able to generate fire, shouldn't be the same. Death is able to completely destroy the Cave of Lost Souls, and when he gets to Puss at the Wishing Star, he asks him if he's going to run away to more lives, kind of implying that those lives that were in the past are gone now. As for Agony and Techno clones, technically, he has no real answer to this, but those wouldn't exactly be Afton anyway. As we know with Glitchtrap, is technically not William Afton, but rather an AI thinking it is, or acting like him. As such, the battle is either inconclusive, or Death wins. See you in the next one.
What a deceptive calling.
Well, well.
I always come back.
So I've heard.
I knew it was a lie the moment I heard it, obviously.
Everyone thinks they'll be the one to defeat me. But no one's escaped me yet.
How can I resist a promise such as this?
Been following you for a long time.
I can taste the fear in your breath.
I just love the smell of fear.
It is time. You will not be spared. You will not be saved.
Slow, sloppy, makes it more fun for me.